What's up, my friends? In this video, you're going to learn how to speak like a native about work and jobs. And this will really help you understand native speakers as well. The way you'll learn is I will read through two totally natural conversations, sentence by sentence. My pronunciation will be like a native speaker, but at a slower speed, so you can easily understand and repeat after me. You'll also learn the native pronunciation tricks, like how we link words and reduce sounds, so you can sound more natural and understand native speakers. Okay, in this first conversation, you'll learn how to talk about your job and how to ask about someone else's job. Okay, let's get started. So, in the first conversation, it's called talking about your job. Our first sentence, if I read it slowly and clearly, I would say, so, what do you do for work? But in real life, a native speaker will not say it like that. Instead, they will say, so, what do you do for work? So, what do you do for work? Now, you heard that what do you becomes what do ya? What do ya? And for becomes fur. Fur. We often say fur instead of for. So I will say this sentence slowly, like a native, and you repeat after me. So, what do you do for work? So, what do you do for work? At full speed. So, what do you do for work? So, to answer that question, you could say, I'm a, and then your job title. So in this sentence, I'm a software developer. I'm a software developer. So we link I'm and a together. Let's say, I'm a. I'm a software developer. Now, you can say it with your job title. If you're a teacher, if you are a cashier at a supermarket, if you're a student, so you could say, I'm a student. I'm a cashier. I'm a marketer. And now we will ask the question back. So, the sentence is, what about you? What about you? What about you? What about you? Notice when we link the T, it becomes like a d. It's not what about you. It's a soft duh sound. What about you? By the way, if you've tried learning pronunciation before, but you still struggle when you speak, then make sure to check out my complete American English pronunciation course. In this course, you'll learn how to make every sound in American English with clear step-by-step instructions. Plus, you'll learn other essential skills like linking words, ed endings, and basically every sound in American English. I know a problem for many of you is that maybe you can pronounce individual sounds perfectly when you practice, but when you actually speak in full sentences, your pronunciation kind of just falls apart. I totally understand that problem, and I've designed this course to fix it for you. It's designed so every single lesson has daily life practice sentences that train your mouth and brain to use the sounds in real sentences, not just single words, so you can practice speaking clearly and naturally in real conversations. So just click the link below to check out the course, and remember to use the code in the description to get your special discount. All right, let's continue with the video. So then, when someone tells you what they are, we normally don't say just, okay, right? We express interest to be polite. So you could say, oh, cool. Oh, cool. And now you say your job. I teach math and science at a high school nearby. So often for native speakers, and becomes just N, the letter N. N. And at a becomes ada. Ada. So let's say the full sentence. I teach math and science at a high school nearby. I teach math and science at a high school nearby. So the full sentence. Oh, cool. I teach math and science at a high school nearby. And now the other person says, that sounds challenging. You could say, that sounds plus an adjective. So for example, that sounds fun. That sounds interesting. That sounds difficult. Do you enjoy it? So do you becomes do you. Do you. It's just a duh sound and then you. Do you. Do you enjoy it? So the full thing is, that sounds challenging. Do you enjoy it? Yeah. Some days are difficult. Now, the word are often just becomes er. Yeah. Some days are difficult. Days are. Yeah, some days are difficult. But overall, I like my job. Yeah, some days are difficult. But overall, I like my job. All right, so now the next person replies, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. My schedule's pretty flexible. Now the S here is the Z sound. My schedule's pretty flexible. So I can work from home. So I can work from home. Now, can in native speech often becomes can or kan. So let's practice. Can. Can. So I can work from home. Let's say it all again. Yeah, me too. My schedule's pretty flexible, so I can work from home. Lucky. I have to be at school every day at 7:30 a.m. So, have to becomes have to. Have to. And often the word at becomes it or ut. Many speakers kind of overdo this and they say, I wake up at 8 o'clock. So you don't need to say ut, just say ut. And if it's fast, then it will sound natural. So let's say, I have to be at school every day at 7:30 a.m. I have to be at school every day at 7:30 a.m. Now, you might be wondering, why did I say at 7:30 a.m.? Well, you can still say at if you want to emphasize a time or emphasize something. So, for example, I am emphasizing that I have to be there so early at 7:30 a.m., so I will say at. I have to be at school every day at 7:30 a.m. All right, so now let's move to the second conversation, which is a job interview. Now, interviews can start out many different ways. This is not a full guide about how to do an interview in English, but these are some natural sentences that you could very likely hear in an interview in English. So, the first sentence. Hi, thanks for coming today. Again, for becomes for. Hi, thanks for coming today. Could you tell me about your work experience? Now, could you becomes could you or could ya. Could ya is the least formal. Could you is a little more formal, and could you is the most formal pronunciation. So I put this one in the middle, not could you, not could ya, but could you. So let's say, could you? Could you? And the word your often becomes your. Your. So let's say, could you tell me about your work experience? Could you tell me about your work experience? Hi, thanks for coming. Could you tell me about your work experience? And then you can reply, of course. Of course. I was a marketing assistant for 3 years at a clothing company. So, was a becomes was a. was a. Again, for becomes fur, and at a becomes atta. Atta. So let's say, I was a marketing assistant for 3 years at a clothing company. I was a marketing assistant for 3 years at a clothing company. The whole thing? Of course. I was a marketing assistant for 3 years at a clothing company. All right, so the reply, again, we don't just say, okay, some people do, but I want to teach you more, like how to reply in a way to show you are interested and listening. So let's say, that's interesting. That's interesting. It's like we say, that's interesting. That's interesting. What were your main responsibilities there? Again, your becomes your. What were your main responsibilities there? All together. That's interesting. What were your main responsibilities there? I won't say this one again because you already know. I created content for social media. I created content for social media. And worked on many different projects. And worked on many different projects. So, for becomes fur, and becomes n, and we have some linking words here. Worked on. Now, worked ends with the t sound. Worked. Worked. So, we just combine worked and on, and it becomes more like worked on. Worked on. Worked on. Worked on. I'll say it slowly. I created content for social media and worked on many different projects. I created content for social media and worked on many different projects. That's great. That's great. So, why are you interested in this position? YR becomes wire. Wire. Remember before we mentioned R becomes right here. So days are becomes dayser. So in native speech, R often becomes So in this sentence, we say, so why are you interested in this position? The full sentence, that's great. So, why are you interested in this position? All right, so let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video. If you did, I will make another one in the future. And if you want to learn all of the different sounds in American English, then check out this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.